Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store, City of Hope, Epic Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
So you know like me style, tell a boy fit your car, so them I watch everything and me aware, them not see the hard work and me do for me career, but
and good afternoon, good day. It's a Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9. This your boy Pearly in the house. So good to be here with you today. It wet out there. When I hear that thunder, I jump, so I break off running. I'm a little softy when it comes to thunder. I don't know why I don't like thunder. Thunder rattles me. But I'm glad I'm here with you. I look forward to a fun time. But just before we do that, we had to figure out how can you become a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head, brought to you by BTC.
And it's so easy. You pick up your phone and you dial 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259, 325-4259, or you can call toll free from the Family Islands, 242-300-5720. That's 242-300-5720. And if you want to text, if you're too shy to call, not a problem, just text me. And it's powered by BTC 42GR96. That's 422-4796. 422-4796. Let me hear from you. Oh, boy. What's going on in the headlines, Mr. Producer?
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
It's in the Guardian this morning. Pintard slams government. F&M leader says government response to FRC proves it's an enemy of transparency. 3 charged with gang rape of teen. Anyway. Wilson fares possible teacher shortage. And government says it's working to resolve concerns of taxi drivers. Sound like everybody want to go on strike. In the business section, construction on new Naughty Luther Airport slated for October. New airport will create unparalleled opportunities for residents. But the rendition looks nice. Hope it looks nice. Economist laments poor state of ease of doing business. Central Bank reports rise in digital banking charges. And SANS disappointed that some contractors using foreign labor on small projects. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, that's what's going on in the headlines today. So how's everybody doing? I'm a little disappointed today. Remember last week I told you that I have invited the torchbearers and the progressive young liberals to come on the show so we could talk about young people in politics. Is it true that young people aren't interested in politics, and what can we do to get them on board? And the torchbearers had gladly accepted my invitation and was ready to come. I spoke to the president of the Progressive Young Liberals, who asked me all the details, and then yesterday said that nobody could make it. They couldn't get off from work. So I'm so disappointed in that, but I told him that I would still like to have them on air, and that I will reach out to him over the weekend and extend my invitation to them again and see if they would make it. But while I'm saying that, I am open to talking to anybody. I'm open to talking to FNMs and PLPs. And I extend an open invitation to Latre Raming, an invitation to any minister of the government can come and sit with me and we can have a conversation. I'm not a combative person. So we're not going to get in any arguments. We're going to have a proper conversation, and I will allow anybody to give their point of views, and I will always, as my mother and father raised me, to be respectful. So publicly, I'm extending an invitation to Latre Raming, and I'm extending an invitation to any minister, any member of parliament of the government side, or the Free National Movement, that you're more than welcome to come and sit with me and have a conversation on the issues concerning our good country. Okay? I look forward to that. Now, let's look at what's going on in the papers. You know, this week I got a lot of phone calls. And you know, I contemplated how I would talk about it. So I'm just going to put it out there. I got people from the garbage collectors who called and says they've not been paid for 3 months. I got called from security firms who said they weren't paid. I got stopped on the side of the road by a gentleman who had the contract to do the verges. I'm not going to say where because I don't want him to be, you know, anybody mess with him or say anything to him. And he was upset that they weren't paid for July. He told me today that he got a notice that they were paid today for July, and they're waiting on their August payment. And I also was told by some others that the people responsible for healthcare services or whatever, the vendors and all that, have not been paid. And just putting it out there, pay the people. We get into contracts. People are getting these contracts and relying on these contracts to sustain themselves and their families. And if we give them a contract, we budget for it, we should be able to pay them. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm not trying to start anything. The weather out there is rough. It's been lightning and thundering, and I hit a pothole again today. So you know that's my pet peeve. 2 things that I make noise about: potholes on the roads and the lack of garbage collection. I don't have no row with the garbage people right now. They've been doing a very good job where I live in Chippenham. I can't argue with them on that. But please, too many potholes still. Too many bad roads still. I was going to row with Joe Farrington Road, but I realized that Water and Sewage is doing some work there. And I assume when they're finished, they would have touched with BTC and BPL and make sure all what has to be done underground is done, and they will properly pave that road. So we can give them a bly. But other places, there are potholes everywhere. There was a pothole right in front of Esso and the corner on the roundabout, not going to say the roundabout, it's not there any longer. Village Road, Soldier Road right there. There's a big pothole right there on the Soldier Road side of Esso. Man, fix that, please. I'm happy that they fixed the one on Robinson Road, just after you pass the Rubus gas station there. I'm happy you fixed that. But there are still too many potholes, please. And tires cost a lot of money. Fixing your front end costs a lot of money. So let's get the pothole patrol out there. Let's fix these potholes. I told you where one is. Let's get them fixed, please. It's important, right? You know, those of us who drive on the roads hate to hit a pothole, hate to see that footage. You know, I had to buy a tire the other day. I can't afford that. I ain't rich, you know. So let's get to it. A couple of texts here. Let's see. Good day, Pearlie. I was listening to God's show today. Anton called in talking rubbish about other radio talk show hosts is biased. Howard is gone. There's no one else to listen to his garbage. Oh boy, I shouldn't have. Anyway. Afternoon, Pearlie. Did you hear from Sparky? Is he banned from? You know what? I did promise to reach out to Sparky, and I have to apologize. I did not get an opportunity since I've been back. I'll make it a point today after the show to check on him and see how he's doing. I've not been told he's banned. I don't know. If he is, that's management. I have to go by what they say, you know. But, yeah, okay. So, headline, Pintard slams government. The Fiscal Responsibility Committee gave a report that was not that favorable of the government. And the Prime Minister was a bit dismissive of it. The purpose of the Fiscal Responsibility Committee is to make sure that when I say we, I mean we, the government, spends the money correctly and do the things that they're supposed to do. So if they're giving you a report, which the Prime Minister and the Minister picked this committee now, it's that committee. They put that committee there. If they pick them, then what they should do, hear what they got to say and figure out how you could do it a little better. You can't be dismissive of them when they're here to do a job that is law. And it only means well for the Bahamas that we know that we be fiscally responsible in our spending. All right, we have a deficit, and we were promised a surplus in April of 130 some plus, and we got a deficit. So they got to keep a close watch, and I welcome that. And I welcome that if this government or the next government keep them going till they keep your feet to the fire. Caller, you on the air. How you doing? Are you there, caller, or are you gone?
What'd you say?
How you doing?
What did you say?
I said, caller, you're on the air. How are you?
Oh, this is the caller. This is the gentleman I want to talk to.
I don't know you. Are you calling the talk show?
Yes, that's what I want to
Okay.
talk to. The talk.
You got me, darling. Go ahead. What do you have to say? But you're dropping off. Hello? Hang up and call back, darling. Hang up and call back because your call keep dropping. But I'm here. If you want to talk to me, I'm here. So, so the Fiscal Responsibility Committee is there to keep us responsible. The name is very simple. Fiscal, keeping the money responsible. And if they come in the report, let's look at it for what it's worth. And it's worth a lot. And let's pay attention to it and let's get it right. Now, this next story that really got me, that I cringed in my stomach when I read this story this morning. And I have problems with stuff like this. I have major problems with stuff like this. 3 charged with gang rape of teen. 3 people have been charged, and police are looking for the 3 other suspects after a 14-year-old girl was allegedly gang raped. You got to be kidding me, man. 14? You know, and somebody made it derogatory. Oh, no, she 14. I don't care. She 14. No. And that got so to me that I can't tell you the things that went through my mind that I wanted. Charlton Curtis, 23. Enrico Murphy, 18. 23 and 18-year-olds. And a 15-year-old boy faced charges of forcibly taking and having unlawful sexual intercourse when they made their initial court appearance before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. on Wednesday. The charges stem from an incident at a home in the inner city of New Providence on August 14th. The accused were not required to enter into the charge since they would stand trial in the Supreme Court. They were denied bail and matters were adjourned to February 11th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Are you kidding me? Yesterday, a grandfather went to jail for raping his grandchild. What you into, man? What is this you are into? 14-year-old grandfather? No, man. No. Got to be something wrong with that. Call you on there. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I waked up right now.
I understand. Yes, but I wanted to find out your opinion on this when this issue came up again with this butchering of this baby girl, because 14 years old, that's a child.
Yes.
You understand me? In reference to one, the age of consent in this country.
Too low. 16 is too low. 16 is too low.
I see, and we read about it. We see, when something happens, everyone gets all worked up and all wound up, reactive. We're reactive to things, right? Mm-hmm. But for so long, I had asked someone who was interested in a competition. Mm-hmm. I had asked them in reference to what, as far as in reference, how do they see agitating more if they are elected or whatever, making the case to raise that age of consent.
And I would support that.
For girls, and I don't know, is it different for young men?
It's 18 to 16 for both men and women. I'm pretty, 16, a person, a human being, a Bahamian.
Yes, because
the age of consent is 16.
They're not there yet. They're not ready. So, now this child has to deal with this trauma. And you have teens, actual, most of them are minors.
Yeah.
So the persons who...
No, 123, 118, and 115. One is a minor.
50, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm interested to see who the other 3 are.
Right, so I think we need to look at that, because sometimes, you see a lot of these girls, you have this thing going off on your phone, Amber Alert or whatever, Marcos Alert, going off, right? But we never see the conclusion in most instances. when these children go missing, and you know that what they say, they was out there laying up, or they did, you understand? But I think examples need to be made, and I am one to deal with that. I'm all for raising the age of consent.
I support that as well. Minimum 18.
But as a father, as a mother, grandmother, whatever like that, we have to really be, I'm really behind this and be outraged with what's going on with that poor child. She's going to need so much counseling and whatever to deal with her trauma.
For real. That is so wrong. As a father, as a brother, as a grandfather, I have a major problem with that, and I have I have nothing in my heart for those young men. Nothing.
These are the ones that's reported.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we have to really, do better. But like I say, you continue to be safe, okay?
Thank you so much.
Right, okay.
One thing I don't do, I don't support that kind of foolishness. I don't care. I saw and I can say a friend in Chippenham tell me, but he got a little one. I said, got a little what? I'll call the police for you today if I see you with anybody. You'll do that to me, Pearly? Yes, because it's wrong. Big gray, what man around here before with little children? Come on, man. Call you on the air. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, brother. How you doing?
I'm ready, my brother. I'm ready. How you doing?
You realize, right, that what's taking place now is actually a product of our rape culture. Remember back in the day, right? I don't know if they still do it. Remember, if you walk through a crowd of people on John Canoe with your gal, you get feel up.
Tell me about that.
That was normal.
Yeah.
Your girl gets feel up. That's normal.
And it was in front of it was the Nassau shop. You walk past that, and 9 million young men there, and all kind of fight break out. People, because the fellas trying to defend their girlfriend, defend their wife, and fellas condoning that foolishness.
But the problem is, it became normal. You go there now, right? You touch a girl between her leg, right? And she say no, right? Some people say it's normal.
No, that can't be normal. No is no.
But some people...
no is no.
Yeah.
That's her body. That's her body. No is no.
It's a product of our rape culture. So what's happening nowadays? Just a build-up of what stemmed from years ago.
Well, we need...
Just not start happening.
Well, we need...
The problem is that the internet and social media is now exposing certain of our dirty things. There's laundry coming out.
Well, we need to fix that.
Dirty laundry is now showing up in public because of now social media.
Yeah.
These things been going on.
Yeah, but I don't condone it and never did and never ever will condone that.
No, yeah, I ain't saying condone it, but what I'm saying is this been happening.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, brother, I appreciate the call. Text. Pearly, good afternoon, Pearly. Did you have... I did read that. Sorry, my bad. Good afternoon, Pearly. My pet peeve is this country is public transportation. Why? After all these years, we can't get a proper transportation system in this country. And you know what? I can make a comment. Let me just read this out of there. Pearly, how did the boys get into the home to rape the girl? It wasn't said that they broke in. So did she? Whether she invite them in or not, she's wrong. She can't invite them in. She's 14. 14. So if she opened the door to let them in, they wrong to come in there. So don't text the police. Don't tell me that. I don't care if she opened the door. She wrong. If she opened the door, you as a 23-year-old man, you should know better. That's a little child. I ain't going in there. I'm not going in there. I'm not going to do that. Good day, Pearly was the young girl. I don't know. And, that's a concern because we get the Marco alert, and then they should. And when they have the alert, their phone going off in church. If you don't turn it down, they're going off. They should beep it again that she's been found, or he's been found, so there'll be no. Because he'd be concerned about stuff like that. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly.
Hey.
What's happening?
I'm right here. What's up?
I heard that they charged 3 pieces yesterday for the 14-year-old.
Yeah, they did charge 3. They're looking for 3 more.
3 more.
Yeah.
So that means 6.
Don't say it, but I know what you're trying to say. Yeah. That get to me.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't care how woman is she. People think she is. I don't care what she had on. I don't care nothing. She's 14.
Exactly.
That's what's important.
Exactly.
And this foolishness now, but giving consent at the age of 16.
And I think that's terrible.
You can't vote till you reach 18.
Exactly.
You can't drive a car till you reach 18 legally.
Right.
You can't drink a beer till he reached 18. He was so excited about sex. You want to put it on to the children at 16.
And you know, up until 1993, when Janet Boswick brought the law house, it was 14. You know. And then I thought it was too low to say 16. You should bring it up.
It is too low. They should raise it to 21.
If that's what you say, I say 18 because you could vote at 18, you could drink at 18. I say 18, but fine.
At least 18.
Yeah.
And now what I want to call you on to again? The gentleman who got charged for impersonating a police officer.
Yes.
That's foolishness.
Listen,
that's the height of foolishness.
When my nephew told me that, we had a family picnic Sunday. My nephew told her that, I mean, we were laughing at it, but it's, you know, in laughing at it, but it's really it's serious how he could pull that off on you.
But for 3 weeks.
How you could do that?
Do you think he tried?
But the fella had picture, I don't know how true it is, and it's alleged, I don't know how true it is, but that picture of him holding a shotgun.
He had I thought they said it was a gun in his vest.
The picture I saw, I saw, I don't know if that was the right picture, it had an officer with a shotgun. But even though, how he get the sign the gun out?
He has number, he have uniform. He had to be reported into a police station because he was giving out tickets. See, where he get the ticket book from?
But let me see, I didn't know, I haven't got it. But anybody who got a ticket from that, now that put in question the whole system, you know. And I think I think the commissioner of police need to make a bigger issue about this and talk to the public about this a little more. That's a scary thought.
It is. But Pearlie, suppose he had gone into the station, the police them sitting down discussing strategies and things
of a sensitive nature. I understand what you're saying.
Man, come on, man.
No. Let me take it another further. What if he had gotten in a shootout with somebody and shot somebody?
Then they hear the police, but they say they need 2,000 more police. They only need 1,999 more. So what to do is put him in because he done on the job. No, I'm serious.
No, I hear you. It is funny, but it is scary. I hear you.
Something wrong because he better consider himself very, very lucky. Because if the right set of people that found out that what he was doing was what he was doing, somebody would hurt him, you know.
No, but not he lucky. The public lucky because he is not a trained police officer, and there could have been something really serious.
You know how much tickets that man give out on the corner there by the golf course and Goodman's Way?
Mind you, I passed there a lot, and I did see police there, but I just assumed that was people working, and I don't know if that was the same thing. I don't know. Don't say Pearlie said that was the same thing. But
I
wow.
I hope a lot of them people are already going to the court to pay the ticket because he has to know something. If he know how to write up a ticket,
it easy, man. It ain't hard to write up. You put in the name, it ain't hard to write up.
No, but I'm saying which court to go to. He had to be close to the system or being close with somebody in the system.
How he get the ticket book? Please explain that to me.
Boy.
How we get the ticket book? How we get a gun? Please explain. Man, listen, fellows was get officers. I respect the police. Was getting fired. Every one of who give him the ticket, the officer in charge of that station, all them should get fired.
He might have taken out one police car.
Why the police car was improperly secured? Why the police car was improperly secured? I can find every reason to say they ain't doing what they supposed to do.
Boy, but I know years ago somebody must have moved a police bulletproof vest or a police car on Soldier Road area. They dig up Soldier Road till they find a vest.
If a police lost, I think and I don't know how true it is, if a police lost his hat, he in problems.
Yeah, but I mean,
lose his hat.
That fellow had on a whole uniform.
A whole gun, uniform,
he had
number.
On, a flow shine shoes. He had on the police shoes and all.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
He must have had somebody close to his family who was a police who died or something.
Boy.
And he just take the uniform.
Boy.
And it fit him well. They said it was in. Man, don't laugh. This is a serious thing, man.
But listen, it is. I'm laughing, but in the same time, there's fear coming through me to say, hey, what is happening to our good little country here? What's going on?
You can tell me some other real police. didn't pass him and
Bella, it was the real police that called him and asked him who he is, and he gave the number and said, "You can't be a police because that's my squatty." That's what I heard. That's how I heard he got caught.
but they say he had the number on his shirt.
Yeah, but he had the from what I heard, and I don't know how true it is, but what I heard is that a police officer said, "But wait, who are you? Where you get this? What's your number? That's not you, because I know this dude. I know this officer. That's my squad mate." And thank God that police was vigilant. Thank God that police was vigilant. He should get honored for that, for being vigilant to catch that brother.
Boy, but
I tell you.
You know how much damage that fella could have already done.
In the words of a good friend of mine, what a time. What a time.
But I can continue listening.
All right, brother. I appreciate that. Mr. Producer, let's take halfway's break. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday with Pearlie in the house. We'll be right back.
So it no make sense your bad mind and next man. Sure the gang go Benz already and him have a next one. I know nothing that if you not have one. Your friend get a youth already know him get a next one. I know nothing that if you not get one. Go look at your and try build a foundation. Bad mind for them before the next generation.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich craving is real, and it's making everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra-large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Back to school just got easier at Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. We've got school shirts with official embroidered logos for R.M. Bailey, S.C. McPherson, A.F. Adderley, Kingsway, Queens College, L.W. Young, and many more. From shirts and blouses to jumpers, skirts, shorts, and pants, we've got uniforms for almost every school in the Bahamas. So, skip the stress and shop at Carey's today. Call us at 393-0758 or 817-0758. That's Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store, where back-to-school shopping is a breeze.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man off. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This is a Talking Heads Thursday. So good to be back here with you. Before we get back into it, I promise to say a very special 25th happy birthday to Taryn Horton. Her mother's a very dear friend of mine. She's a great cook. And I just want to say happy birthday, Taryn. I hope you're having a super, super fantastic day. Enjoy your day. And send me a piece of cake, okay? Cool. So let's take all of you on the air. How you doing?
Father of Pearls,
Hey, what's up, my brother?
This is Nana Boy, GNN,
Hey,
back on the horn.
what's happening, Nana boy?
Boy, Nana Boy, I've been the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks. I had to test my faith.
Okay. I know when I spoke to you the last time, you said you was a little battling there.
Yeah. I was doing a little battling, but I back on the horn.
lick
you
it down.
Julian, very brilliant boy. Me and him grew up together.
Okay.
He grew up on one end of Palm Beach Street. I grew up on the next end.
Okay.
And I made the mistake in rushing with his brother motorboat.
Okay.
But that's where I learned all the tricks from, those South Line, you know.
Yeah.
Beautiful family. But I think Julian is being facetious, you and Julian being facetious, asking all the questions you're asking about the various, the myriad of crimes.
Okay.
I think you're being facetious.
No, man, I being dead real, brother. Dead real.
Because clearly, it doesn't matter what crime you do, when you do it, you know, because the poor and crimes and stuff will always be among us, you know. The problem I have is this, brother. What can happen then? Let's see. Well, let's see if we can be able to deter this, send him to for the adequate sentence.
You mean the fake? You mean the fake police?
Yeah.
Somebody text me and say he could have been robbing bank, but still, is breaking the law is breaking the law.
The problem we have in our society, pretty, is the punishment do not meet out the crime. See, they can do whatever crime they want to, you know.
We too soft with punishment, you telling me?
Exactly. That's the problem I want you to do. They talk about.
Okay.
What we can do with him.
Okay.
Now, I don't want here next week, when he come, he got one polluted lawyer, and then he get off on bail, and then he this and that, and then somewhere down the road, they say time served, or he can run concurrently, or you know the kind of thing.
I hear what you're saying.
That's the problem I have with our society.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what crime you do. You come before GNN, but you go on.
Yeah,
what you do.
We allowing the quote-unquote human rights groups cause us to get soft on punishment.
Yes, now I commend those police officers that found him.
Yeah, I give my guess.
What else he gonna do?
Exactly, and I say that police officer should be commended and you know and congratulated for his diligence, and paying attention and being a police officer. And I credit to him, my brother. Credit to you.
You're very vigilant. You know, you remember when TV movie we used to watch fairly, or you might be a little too young for that. You might know. Remember when TV cop movies used to come on named Beretta? What you mean?
You
know about Beretta?
I know Beretta, Columbo, all of them used to come on the same.
Oh, yeah. You know about that.
I know about Beretta. I can almost tell you black here.
There was one thing that stood out about Beretta from back then for me, and it still stands out today. His theme song.
Yeah, okay.
That's our problem.
Okay.
We need to adopt his theme song. If you can't do the time,
don't do the crime.
Don't do the crime. Now, one more thing I got to shout loud, because they bring me back to God Health at PMH, a couple of them. And they said that to let the nation know that with all this talking about raise that and pay that and everybody striking, they're not being paid.
No, I know. I've heard that, and I did say health services, and it ain't good because these nurses, you ain't got all the great ones. Some of them you can blame, but for the most part, they do a fantastic job, and they work long, hard hours. And when my father's in hospital and I was there, I hear some of the things, even him at once in a while, God rest his soul. But hearing how the people talk to the nurses, and I understand they're sick and they feel in some kind of way. So
they're not being paid. Pretty. I spent 3 days in A&E just recently. Pretty, the air conditioning ain't working. Still.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty, you know that it's you done sick.
Yeah.
You ain't sure what you is or where you is or what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And you got to sit down in the room all day on a couple of high chairs.
Yeah.
And sweating.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And I something else I can say. I can get off through because the people them do get mad with Nana Boy. But listen to me, Freddie.
Go ahead,
This is
Nana
the first
Boy.
time I've ever seen this. I came in E&E, heard sweat, a natural living human demon, Freddie. I never thought I would see that in my life.
Stop talking crazy.
But I ain't gonna talk about this no more.
All right. Okay.
Thanks for taking Nana
All right,
Boy.
Nana Boy. Take care. Text says, Pearlie, in response to the caller, whether it's been going on for years or not, it must stop. We are cloaking savages. I hear you, Text. I hear you loud and clear. I, Pearlie, they're still giving the cat strokes. If they are, they need to start using it ASAP. Remember, I tell you now, these human rights organizations are putting so much pressure on that you can't, But Pearlie, hear me out. Some of these little girls are very fast and like to invite these activities and pretend to be women. I don't condone that, but where is reality and what is wrong? I don't care if a young girl come and stand, a 14-year-old stand in front of me in a certain way. I know better as a man. I know better. That's a child. That is a child. So I ain't blaming her, I blaming that 23-year-old, that 18-year-old for encouraging that 15-year-old boy to go do that foolishness. Don't. I trying to figure out how he fixed his face on day one to work. And yes, that one diligent officer who called him out needs to be an instant promotion because clearly everything else slapping up. Real talk. Call you on there. How you doing?
Hey, Paulie, this is me.
That's you.
Oh, my brother. I just want to throw two ideas out to you to see how you respond to it because I value your opinion.
I appreciate that.
All right? Now, everybody's up in arms about the fact that we have some flights coming from Haiti to New Providence, and the people are going to the mall to get their school supplies. Ordinarily, I believe those flights would have come from Haiti, New Providence, and then a connecting flight to Walmart or somewhere, right? No, follow what I'm saying. You see, I'm just trying to use some reasoning here because
go ahead.
Immigration is going to make sure that these children on these flights who are come to buy their school supplies go back where they come from.
Okay.
So I'd like to hear you touch on that. But the main one that concerns me is this. According to the Haitian Constitution, unless you have written documentation where you renounce your Haitian citizenship, you are unable to obtain another one in another country. So if you have one without renouncing, what you have is invalid.
Yeah.
How
okay.
are we going to continue to? Why are we going to continue to do this? Giving these people citizenship when there's no record of where they went to Haiti, because it's easy to get there now to do it.
Yeah.
And renounce, and then come showing that you renounce it to get the Bahamian.
Well, if you get a Bahamian passport, the passport office or immigration, whatever, should have a record of you renouncing your citizenship before they give you that passport.
But what I'm saying is, for you to get that, you have to go to. You don't write a letter to requesting a renounce. You have to go there.
Yes.
See a JP.
Oh, you have to go to Haiti and renounce?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know the law. I barely know the Bahamas law, but
Somebody have to clear this up for me then.
I'm going to speak to an immigration
Or maybe you could just
lawyer.
say it verbally. Then I renounce, and then that's cool.
But it got to be some record, and but the bottom line.
So we just making a bunch of mud here that we have to swim in later on in life.
You can't swim in mud. You can get stuck.
Privy Council.
You can get stuck.
You understand?
My friend and her husband went to the U.S. Embassy for their visa because they were going on a cruise. And I was so jealous of them. Anyway, they're going on a cruise. And they said the person in front of them had a Bahamian passport and couldn't speak a lick of English. And the embassy told them, go, you can't get no visa. How that happen? How does that happen?
Well, you know what's going on or what is perceived to be going on.
But hey, listen, anyway.
All right. So maybe that's a part of the play because
we need to fight harder for our country. We need to fight harder for our country.
But you know something that really is puzzling. When you look at the amount of elections that we had in this country, and the fact that every one has been contested, win or lose. So obviously there is some feeling of gerrymandering that's been going on in all of the elections.
Look like that's a worldwide thing, because what's going on in Texas, I had a kick. I get a kick out of that.
Yeah, but and I'd like to see how Newsom is going to deal with this in California to offset this, because boy, listen, I will suggest to you, this guy who they call Trump is going to be put into a corner that he's going to either take us all with him, or he's going to leave himself quietly in a sleep.
Interesting.
Because he does have access to the nuclear codes.
Have a good day.
Okay, sir.
Have a good day. Text says, according to the Tribune, the 14-year-old girl was forcibly detained. Just lose these fellas in jail. Nonsense. You go to the embassy and get a renunciation document. Okay. All right. You ain't got to say nonsense. You just tell us what the facts are. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Pearlie, how you doing?
Hey, my brother, I'm right here.
Let me just make some points before I get to what I want to do on a couple of callers.
Okay.
You know, it says, what you tolerate today becomes culture of tomorrow.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Well said. Well said.
Okay. Now, for the guys and for the people, first, yes, you have to. Both persons have to be. The age of consent for men and boys are 16, but for same-sex relationship, homosexual relationship, both persons have to be 18.
See, but why you carrying it to that side of the world now?
No, I'm just telling you.
Anyway, see, I'll carry on. Like my father used to say, carry on smartly.
Okay, and your call is correct. You can't. You only can renounce your Haitian citizenship in person in Haiti. You can't redo it at any of the embassies or anything as of that effect. And our Constitution mandates, it's not optional, that you must renounce your citizenship before you could take it out. Something we haven't been practiced, but I'm not going to have, you can draw into that today.
Yeah. What's up?
I want to talk about the business section you said about because it's important. This part right here where you spoke about the business section. I can't remember about the ease of doing business.
I talk about construction renew. Science is disappointed in contractors using foreign labor. Central Bank reporting rise. Economist laminates poor state of ease of doing business. Yeah,
and that is very, very important. I want you to look at the first word.
Lament. They're using laminate.
Yeah,
lament.
Look at the first two words in the banking, oligopolies.
Yeah,
right?
banking, oligopolies, slow digitalization of government services.
The slow digitalization of government services. That's the second phase. But further down in there, she spoke about the digitization, and all of this is related. Believe it or not, it's actually related to the entire digitalization of the country. Now, that's what the person said about the person having the passport. We're talking about biometrics and transferring the information from the passport office, and for some reason, we want to believe that we have this sanitized passport office, and we're beginning to find out and hear a lot of things that's going on right now. So when you it's a concept in technology called garbage in, garbage out. And so when you pull in this information from the passport office and it's garbage and contaminated, it's now garbage and contaminated into the voters registration process.
Yes.
See, if you understand the 5 Ds, what do you have to have? Digitization, digitalization, datamation, datification, and digital transformation. And so what biometrics is does not verify a person identity. Biometrics only authenticates the person who's standing in the front of you is basically aligned with the information that they said went in. But if the information that went in is contaminated, all you've done is attach a biometrics to the contaminated data.
Yes.
So that's why this so-called argument we're having in our country about digitization is garbage. I mean, it's garbage juice. And the reason I said this highlights what has been said, because what happens is nothing in our country can function until digitization comes in play, then goes to digitalization. Because digitization is nothing but a simple process of converting analog information into digital formats.
Yeah.
This is when we begin digitalization is utilizing of it. And so when we start talking about these IDs and passports and driver's license and NID, the problem is we've had our birth certificate digitized, and some other information digitized by Aaron Knowles from Benchmark. So we've had these silos of information. The problem is that we have not moved them into a true digitalization format. We have kept them in silos. And so we cannot use what is called relational databases to begin to authenticate what goes on. The number one tool of this authentication, believe it or not, if we want a true purity in our voting system and our ID system and everything else, and even dealing with individuals who we say, believe it or not, we somehow take the position that, these people can't get jobs because they're not regularized. For some reason, we keep thinking regularization requires citizenship. A national ID system that actually verifies and begins this information, including the DNA of both parents. You hear them say, kids coming over on the plane, we don't know if they're leaving or coming, and somebody will claim this is my child and all these other different things. And so what we need is a true digitization of our existence. It was 400,000 people, 500,000 people. This is not complicated. And so what happens then is the, digitization and digitalization and automation allows us to see not only just today, but secure tomorrow. It access allows us to look all the way backwards into yesterday's. And so and this is important because we have people are very concerned concerning our sovereignty. And the question we have to be is, when we talk about the 21st century, which is less than 6 months away, the second quarter, 25 years, we have squandered, we have wasted. And we are about to move into the second 25 years. And we have to question for those who came before and those who are seeking to go forward or to continue. If you are aware of the reality of the 21st century where we need to be, why haven't you taken the necessary steps rather than just simply giving us lip service, misinformation, misdirection? Because here are these people complaining, there's economists complaining about it, international people complaining about it, and nothing. This is not like you have this 5-step process for this over here and this over there.
Yeah.
It's a requirement from a governmental standpoint that this is how the economy will be. Driver's license is not separate. Passport is not separate. School ID is not separate. School records are not separate. Medical records are not separate. It's one thing. It's one decision. And I'm saying this. The problem we have had leadership who suffers from paralysis of analysis and paralysis from analysis in the reality of where we live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
And we must choose leadership that understands to assemble a team of individuals that recognize our gap analysis, where we are and where we need to be, and choose carefully, because this will determine where we be for the next 25 to 100 years.
Amen. Thank you, my brother. Interesting. Let me read this text quick, and then we'll take the caller. We can't fight for our country if we're fighting against each other. Illegal immigration has a foothold here because many of us hire, house, feed, educate, and provide paperwork for them. Stamp out the corruption from the top down, and everyone would fall in line. Amen. I say amen. Caller, you are on the air. How are you? Caller, you there? Guess not. I guess he couldn't be. Got to be a little patient. Sometimes we talk a little bit, but we get to you. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. What's up?
You know, once again, I have to agree with C. Alan Johnson, the last caller. But I have to ask a question.
Okay, Graham.
52 years later, all the magic he spoke of would have been done if they wanted it done, because they would have used his genius and other people who have smarts to have done it. So are you going to go back to Egypt and vote for the same two people? Because it's only those two parties that have done what they've done for 52 years. Or would you try something different that could possibly do what he spoke to? Because the guy who caused the problem isn't going to fix or undo that problem, do you think?
I'm listening.
And so until we sit down and we say we're going to fix the bombers, right? You know what? Let someone have a time to call in, because talking doesn't really fix things. We got two choices. You're going to vote for 10% VAT or 12% VAT. And the new guy says no VAT. What if we put some VAT on the cruise ships at 5%, 9 million people? We wouldn't have to have the 10% on a few 100,000 people. That making sense?
I listening.
Okay. And so there's a plethora of things we can do, but I suspect we won't do it. But I waited to see if people could vote for 10 or 12% VAT, and then I'll call you after election. We have a good cup of tea and laugh. How's that?
I'll stop by your spot and we'll have a cup of coffee. I don't drink tea.
Man.
All right.
My treat.
All right, brother. Thank you, Graham. Thanks for calling. Graham and I have had some interesting conversations over the years. Some real interesting conversations. Carly on there. How you doing? Carly, you there?
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
All right, don't listen to your radio. Listen to your phone. The radio can be a little delay.
No, all I have to say is, we are.
Why you sound like you in the next room talking to me and the phone in the other room? Come a little closer to your phone, please.
Yeah. You can hear me better now?
A lot better, yes.
We aren't serious, and until we charge some people with treason. That's all. Nice day, man.
Okay, thank you. That's it. That's our hour. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the calls. Thank you so much for the texts. Thank you so much for just being there for Pearlie. I appreciate that. This has been a Talking Heads Thursday on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. When we come back after the news, we can talk a little football. We can talk about how my Dodgers got beat again last night. Oh, I had a miserable night. And we'll talk some more sports. We'll be right back, right after the news.
Them so sharp. So who no like me style, tell a boy fit your car. So them a watch everything and me a wear. Them no see the hard work when me do for me career. But them a wonder how me things them so weird. Them want kill me for the carry me a steer. But me heart no dirty. Me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never go just for your queen. Me heart no dirty.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Class is in session, but today's lesson is flavor. Level up with the new back-to-school buckets. That's 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, your favorite sides, and something sweet. A group project everyone shows up for. Score a school-themed gift with every mega or super bucket purchase while supplies last. Plus, we're giving away a Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 to 9 lucky winners every week for 5 weeks. Back to school with KFC is finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad mind's a disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store, City of Hope, Epic Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Printmasters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's a sports time. How everybody doing? Let's get right into today in sports history, because I want Jeff Robb with me, right? I read today in sports history. Today is Thursday, August 21st, 2025. In 1929, the Chicago Cardinals traveled out of town for training camp. That was the first professional football team to do this. In 1971, Laura Brow, at the age of 16, won the United States Women's Amateur Golf Tournament. She was the youngest winner in the history of the tournament. In 1984, Victoria Roach, a reserve outfielder, became the first girl to ever compete in a Little League World Series game. In 2006, Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants hit his 725th home run, career home run. And 2009, the Dallas Cowboys played their first game at their new stadium in Arlington, Texas, during the preseason game against the Tennessee Titans. The Titans kicker hit the scoreboard hanging in the center of the stadium. I remember that. And the sports quote of the day, We didn't lose the game. We just ran out of time, Vince Lombardi. And our final 15 is going to be an interesting Rich Eisen is going to analyze the Micah Parsons situation in Dallas. So that should be some interesting listening for you. Let's see what's going on in the home front today. On the where we had that. I had it in front of me a second ago. Here we go. Sports. Bahamas wins third straight at BJKC. This is a great progress for Bahamas tennis. Congratulations. Cazova, Cazova, Bahamas falls 3-1 against Jamaica. And Bahamas placed 22nd in mixed 4x100 meter melody relays. That's the swimmers at the Aquatic Junior Swimming Championship in Romania. Congratulations. 22nd in the world. That is very good. That is excellent. And I want to congratulate, as you know, Pearlie always congratulates and pays close attention to what our young athletes are doing. And is always excited to say good job. I didn't read a text, and I try to read all the texts. We vote for leaders, party out of Vegas. Apparently, Seattle believes that Pintard is the leader to do what he says. He has rejected COI Lincoln Bain and PLB. Have Graham answer why Seattle rejected his COI? I'm going to leave that for tomorrow when Naughty on. And you guys could discuss that. But I think he has said on more than one occasion why he has said what he has said. Okay? Y'all know, I keep... Remember, I had the 21st in my head, and I almost said a happy birthday to somebody, but it's really the 31st, so Naughty, we'll do that. I'll remember that on the 31st. So, football preseason is only a couple of weeks. Football regular season, it's only a couple of weeks away, and, spring training has been going on. It's been some key injuries happening, and Naughty mentioned yesterday, and Lamar Jackson had a scare. I don't like spring training so much. Preseason, I say spring training. I don't like preseason so much, and I have no problem when you have the second, third, fourth, and fifth stringers playing and keeping the starters off because anything can happen. And I'd hate to see a player get hurt during spring training, during preseason. I keep saying that dodges on my mind so hard. During preseason, to lose them for the regular season. So it doesn't bother me when you sit them down and let the other guys who are trying to make the team to prove themselves. That's fine with me. I see the Cleveland Browns have given Flacco the QB1 rating. I'll be happy with that. Any Cleveland Brown fans are there? Are there any Cleveland Brown fans in the Bahamas at all? Because I don't remember anybody come and tell me they're Cleveland. I know that plenty Patriot fans plenty of them have died off now since Brady gone. Half the country is Dolphin fans, and the other half are probably Pittsburgh and Dallas fans. But then you've got your Kansas City, Big Chief is there, and you've got other. My son is a Atlanta Falcon fan. But I don't hear if there's a Cleveland Brown fan out there, and it would be good to see. Or good to hear from if there's a Cleveland Brown fan out there. Just with when you get with 900 quarterbacks on your team, and all hurt. And so I don't know if that's the process of elimination. Why that young man is now the starter. Call you on there. Help me.
Yeah, you all back on your winning streak. That's why you have the Dodgers on your mind.
No, man, we get beat last night by Colorado. Had us for batting practice yesterday.
But you all up 8-3 right now.
Oh, right? Yeah. We leading right now. Leading right now. Yeah, but that's right there as a battle within itself because we shouldn't be coming down there fighting this to tie the series. We should sweep them. You go in San Diego, you sweep San Diego, then you come in Colorado for a letdown.
All the money which you all spend too.
No. See, you sound like my girlfriend now. I keep pushing that in my face. Listen to me.
Yeah, babe.
We've spent a lot of money, but we've also had a lot of injuries. All our starting pitchers was out for a minute, We're just getting them back. Yeah. All our closers, Yates, Scott, all them out hurt. Tommy Edmonds hurt. Kiki Hernandez hurt. Max Muncy. We have a lot of injuries. I give Dave Roberts, as much as I cuss him and call him everything but a child of God, he's done a great job of balancing with a bunch of AAA pitchers all season.
Yeah. Hey, well, Philly was trying to hit the ball out of the park the other day with them home runs and things.
That's all they was doing. That's all they were doing.
The top deck and thing, man. They was hitting them up in the top 400 and something feet and things.
Yeah. They been there.
But the Marlins is looking bad. But that game, they really look bad. But
but the Marlins. The problem with the Marlins is you're in a relatively small baseball town. When I say baseball market, and you don't have the kind of money or the resources like the Dodgers. All right, the Dodgers spend a lot of money, but they're making $70 to $100 million in endorsements and stuff just out of Japan alone. They're paying Ohtani salary right out of Japan alone. They're basically printing money there. The stadiums stay full. So it's hard for Miami to have the kind of funds to bring the kind of players in there. When Miami did have that great team to win the World Series, then they break it up the next year.
NBA games do that too.
Yeah.
Hey, but Pearls, the night in that game, they talking about Dang to play Rogers. I see you talking about you want to preseason.
I wouldn't play him tonight. I wouldn't play him. Rogers too frail. He's too frail.
Yeah, he could need to get some reps, with them new fellas, them with mark out them and all of them other new fellas. He gonna need to get reps. He can't just start game one. 42-year-old man like that running up in new players like that.
No, but what they're doing is a lot of teams are having joint practices so they could get that kind of game time experience in without the hitting. You can't hit the quarterback. You can't, if you sack him, you got to touch him and move on.
But like how all the veterans coaches saying, it still ain't really like the game. Well, you see, Mahomes, Mahomes and Kelsey, them playing a lot of starters and then the quarterback starters play at least half or 1 quarter or a quarter. You got to get some type of reps going or something, try to get some rhythm with your new fellas.
Well, they know the one Aaron Rodgers, he could be what happened to him in New York.
They know. Then even the muscles and things got to get, you can't get game one and then get pull up. They better have the bend get close. Let me get someone else get all right, Brian.
Okay, all right. I see Shedeur Sanders looks like he will get some playing time versus the LA in their next preseason game. How many WWE fans are out there? I see ESPN sign a contract with the WWE to start carrying the wrestling matches, and apparently John Cena is retiring at the end of the year, and apparently John Cena will have his. I know wrestling fake. Let's get that out the way. I know that much. What I love about it, I hardly ever watch the matches. I like the talking. I like the trash talking they have amongst themselves. I like the storylines that they put out there. Sometimes I think it takes too long to come to a conclusion, but that's where I get my kicks when it comes down to WWE. Watching them row, watching them getting there and on the microphone, and God rest his soul and the great Hulk Hogan. I used to look forward to seeing when Hulk come out there and he do his hand and put his hand behind his ear to each side of the ring for the people to carry on. And when you had the thing on break and Stone Cold come out there, or you smell what The Rock is cooking. That's the stuff that I enjoy about WWE. And my grandmother, Grammy Nixon, God rest her soul, was a huge fan of wrestling. Huge fan. And you couldn't get her from in front of that TV on Saturdays when wrestling is to come on ZNS. So that's the way I get the kick out of it. When the wrestling starts, I switch the channel. But once they're talking and they have that little route, particularly at the start of the program, I always watch the first 5-10 minutes of the program because that's where they come on, they talk. Vince McMahon walked down with this big walk and started running on and all kind of things. I like that. And then when they start wrestling, okay, I finished with that because we know it's already planned who gonna win, who gonna be the this and who gonna be the that. But I see ESPN is taking on. There's a lot of money in that. When you see those stadiums, 75,000 people coming to watch wrestling, and 50,000 and thousands of people watching wrestling. It is people get into it and enjoy it. And I liked when we kids used to go to Palm Beach a lot, and the Palm Beach auditorium is right not too far from my aunt's house. So we always tried to go in the wrestling coming the weekend. You go and watch the wrestling and have some fun watching it and scream and shout and all that. And then when Tyree Pride and Hacksaw Butch Reed used to come here, I used to be right there in the Nassau Stadium, ringside seats, taking my sister Marisi there to watch, and we began to watch wrestling and getting off on that. And then afterwards, one of our friends went to school with Hacksaw Butch Reed, so we'd go over to Pilot House Hotel and hang out with them. And what really opened my eyes up is we're sitting there with Tyree Pride and Hacksaw Butch Reed. We just talking and just shooting the breeze. The referee comes in there, says, anybody got any ice? And then one of the wrestlers, I forget his name, Kevin Sullivan, comes walking in there, and they said to me, all sitting down talking. I said, but y'all, let's just fight, and y'all was having a row? Anyway, so I got understanding that it was on stage, but I love it. It's good entertainment, but you have to keep in your mind that we know it is not real, because human body cannot take that kind of beating and still be okay. Cannot. Okay? Cannot. So, okay, so back to the football. Back to football. So, listening to Muff talk and talking about, and I told my Pittsburgh Steelers friends that I don't think Rodgers should play until regular season, because the wrong hit. You remember first season with the Jets, first quarterback, first couple of plays, bang, out for the season. And like I say, and I can put it on record, and your Steelers fans can get on me all you want, you ain't getting nowhere with Rodgers. Call on there.
Hey, buddy, what's happening, buddy?
Right there, my brother. What's happening?
Everything on the quiet, man. This is Derek, man. Mr. 49er.
Hey, Mr. 49er. What's happening?
Don't forget now, there's some 49er fans in Nassau in the Bahamas.
Oh, I know that. I know that for sure. And you happen to be one of them, and they got another couple that will be talking more when we get one of the football season. We'll be hearing from. There was Go ahead.
My good friend Eric Sawyer.
Sawyer, yeah.
He'll be very upset if you don't mention the 49ers, man.
I surprised he didn't call and tell me, but you tell me, but you know what? I'm not saying it. But there was a question, and I'm glad you called, because I wanted to ask you this question, and I will make sure I get the right question. Where I put it? I had it here, and I said I was going to put it out in my notes. Should Brock Purdy be trusted to carry your 49ers this year?
Yeah, man.
Don't say yeah, man. Back it up, man. Don't tell me yeah, man, and leave it like that. You got to back that argument up.
Well, I can back it up.
Okay.
Brock Purdy, you remember now, Brock Purdy was our third string quarterback when Garoppolo and the Trey Lance went down in that game against your Miami Dolphins, as a matter of fact.
That's right. I forgot that. You're right. Uh-huh.
All right then. And he proved himself. He took us to the playoffs, to the championship game against the Eagles, where he got hurt. Everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey had to start taking snaps for the 49ers.
Yes.
You don't forget that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
All right. And the following year, Brock Purdy took us to the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are saying, and a lot of people are saying he's just good for your system, and without certain players, McCaffrey, i.e. McCaffrey, he can't carry you in here. He's not the leader; he's just the facilitator. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Well, people will say that, but I have confidence. I have confidence that he will do well. He have a lot of young players. He have a lot of new faces. So all of the old guys are going. Ayuk is still out.
Yeah.
It looked like Javon Jennings. He won a new contract, and they say he has some sort of high ankle sprain or something that he isn't practicing right now.
And he didn't get his contract, so he just hurt.
Yeah, and he definitely can fake it.
Yeah.
So Ricky Pearsall, one or two new fellas. We really tend in the wide receiver class. We don't have no depth in wide receiver, but hey, this is where he's got to have to earn his keeps, my brother.
Okay.
He gonna have to earn his keeps now, because it ain't he gonna have to improvise.
That's true.
And earn that money.
That's true.
He got the big payday, so he have to earn his money. I have confidence that he can do it.
Well, you need
I saw a little chemistry in the last game with the Raiders.
Okay.
Where he played a couple snaps in the first quarter.
Uh-huh.
I saw him look like he was developing a bit of chemistry with Ricky Pearsall. Remember, Ricky Pearsall, Brock didn't really get a chance to really play with Pearsall last season, because remember Ricky Pearsall got shot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he didn't play. I think he came in the last couple games or something like that.
Yes, the miracle healing that they call it.
Yes.
They thought he wasn't going to make it.
Yes.
And so this is Brock Purdy's season now to develop some chemistry with Ricky Pearsall, and he's going to have to be the number one until you come back and And let's see what happens with Jennings.
Is IU going to miss? Is going to be on IL to miss the first 4 games, so he's expected to be ready for game 1.
No. They say between 4 to 6 weeks.
So okay. All right. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited for football this year. Even though I was watching the ESPN this morning and they say the over under for the Dolphins is 8.5, and I tended to believe that 8.5 wins. I'm talking now. I'm tending to believe that. Yeah, but I'm going to bet the over though. I'm going to bet the over because I think I get a good chance. 9 will give me a couple $.
You know what they say about ESPN? You know what they say about Vegas? They say Vegas will never get it wrong.
They don't. Yeah, because they always right, but I may get it wrong, right?
They always right because they can always be in the money run.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? But listen, I hear you were talking about wrestling. But listen, I got some history of wrestling back in the day of the bridging.
Okay.
And upstairs at the Island Traders building used to be the Bridging restaurant.
Yeah. And then it later became Outback. Yeah, I remember.
Yes. And downstairs used to be the Fishnet.
Yes.
Across the street used to be Marietta's, right?
Yes.
As a young boy going to government, I used to be a bus boy in the Bridging after school. I used to catch the bus from Yellow Elder to the bridge.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I am passing the Island Traders building right now.
Memories. Okay.
And listen, my brother. Every time you see wrestling come to the Nassau Stadium, that is where the wrestlers would come to eat.
Okay.
Big Joe High Guy, the owner at the time.
Yes.
And Deckery Johnson and them.
DJ. Let me see
Deckery, them were his boys. They used to play for his team. So.
Yeah. Bridget.
They would open up those two dining rooms upstairs. And those wrestlers will come there and they will sit down. I just finished watching them tear one another head off, the Purple Hairs and the Missing Link and Kevin Sullivan and all of them. They trying to kill Blackjack Mulligan and Dusty Rhodes them head or trying to kill them in the ring.
Yes.
And they're having a feast, my brother.
Good friends.
And they're having a feast, best of friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you say wrestling fake, boy, look but the entertainment and the intent is what I like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That is. But listen, I go way back with wrestling. I can tell you all about.
But Jack and Jerry Briscoe.
Jack and Jerry Briscoe.
The figure 4 leg lock.
The Van Erich brothers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Cowboy Bob Horton.
Listen, I know them all. I met them all.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, at one point in time, I had a white pants because I used to go to government. I had a white pants, uniform pants that I got all of their autograph, but I don't know what that is. Yeah. That's interesting. But the entertainment. Yeah. A little nostalgia moment, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Take time. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Pearly.
Hey, my brother.
Boy, I was trying to get on earlier, but I got to leave that for another day.
Okay.
Now, you ain't mentioned the Colts. You forget.
In Indianapolis. Well, you know what? I have a dear friend who I went to high school with, Trevor Bergzog. He was a huge Baltimore Colt fan. And he used to take my $1 lunch money from me every Monday morning. We bet Dolphins and Colts.
I know. I can tell you another hard fan. Remember Brad Smith?
Yeah, yes.
He's a big-time Colts fan, too.
Okay, yeah.
Couple older guys.
They were Baltimore Colt fans before they became Indianapolis Colt fans.
Yeah, man. I like the Colts. That's when I really get into football.
Okay, all right. Bert Jones.
So we go hang in there. Now, back with the Orioles.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Orioles break up the team, They could have, it was right in there. See, we win all them games after they get rid. Our pitching was a little problem.
Yeah.
If you follow them and they 7 innings, they lead the game, they can't hold the game down.
Yeah. That was the problem with them. That was the problem. But you're like 8 games out of the playoff spot. But only 30, 32, 33 football games left, so it can be kind of hard. So they can rebuild and try to make some moves, spend some money for next year.
That's what we got to do. We break up the team, send this one, man. I think we would hang in there. Look how y'all can do. I mean, listen to me. The Yankees, ain't playing all that.
When you say y'all, you ain't trying to put me as no Yankee.
That's why I catch myself.
I say don't curse me on radio. Don't curse me.
That's why I said the Yankees, so they're getting beat up bad. We the bed right there.
Let me tell you something. If the Holston Knights playing the Yankees, the Giants, or the Padres, Pearly pulling for the Holston Knights. All right, and you know about the Holston Knights, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, all right.
The Knight and the Barons
and the Baxbys and all. It'll be a cold day, and you know where before I ever start pulling for the Yankees.
Boy, I know some. Hey, we have a lot of Yankee fans, but
yeah, no. But you gotta understand now. Back in the day, there was the New York Yankees, the Brooklyn Dodgers, all right, and the New York Giants, and you had that radio. You listening? They the games you heard.
Orange had a lot too, but the big teams was the Dodgers, Giants, and the Yankees.
Yep.
They were the three big teams.
And then when the Dodgers and the Giants moved out to California, the Mets were there, and it was the Yankees held the East Coast, and the Dodgers and Giants continued their rivalry.
You remember Asa Ferguson?
Yes, very well. I went to Greg Ferguson. His son was my roommate in college. Greg and I were roommates.
You know what Asa pulled for, eh?
Yeah.
Big time, Giant.
Yeah, I know for sure.
Yeah,
but it was like that, and then you get people like Georgie Battle, who's a huge Dodger fan. My uncle Thad was a Dodger fan. The late Maceo Coakley Jr. was a huge Giant fan. How I became a Dodger fan is sitting on the porch, listening to my uncle Thad and Maceo Coakley talk about the Giants Dodgers game, and my uncle, that's my favorite uncle, so I go in with him.
Yeah, boy.
So that's how it was, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. We can take a quick break. When we come back, we can take that caller when we come back. Caller, don't go anywhere. I'm coming right back to you. Just give me 2 minutes to pay some bills so I can stay on radio. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. When we come back, we can take this caller. We can talk some what's and get into the picks.
Bad mind me for it. Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like me style tell a boy fit your car. So them a watch everything and me a wear. Them no see the hard work and me do for me career. But them a wonder how me things them so weird. Them want kill me for the career.
When it comes to burgers and flavor, you already know he's the king. And he's the king of crunch, the master of flavor. And he's gonna set your taste buds on fire. I'm talking about the new King Crunch sandwiches at Burger King Nassau. No cap on this one. Crispy fried onions, pepper jack cheese, and a bold chipotle sauce. Can't forget about the fixings that cover that crispy chicken patty. And if you love your beef patties, 2 flame grilled beef patties on BK's new King Crunch sandwiches. They're bigger, they're better, and bolder than the other guys. But hurry, they're only at Burger King Nassau for a limited time, so try one today.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
This is how we do it.
Get ready to kick off the new school year with a bang. It's the Guardian Media Group and Rotary Club of South Ocean's Back to School Jamboree. Friday, August 29th in the parking lot of the Nassau Guardian in Oakesville, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Join us for a day of fun, games, and back-to-school excitement. We've got something for everyone, from bouncing castles and face painting to health screenings, hair grooming, and giveaways. Meet some of your favorite local businesses and get ready for the new school year with all the essentials. We'll have school supply vendors and local eateries with delicious treats. Don't miss out on the fun. The Guardian Media Group and Rotary Club of South Ocean's Back to School Jamboree. Friday, August 29th at the Nassau Guardians parking lot, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's the perfect way to celebrate the end of summer and get excited for a great school year. See you here.
Brought to you by
Island Wholesale, Splash of Sunshine, Purity Bakery, Janae's Uniform Center, Harry's, Celestial Treats, Sun Oil, Lowe's, A&N's Kitchen, Zelrana Mackey, Lumber Snack, Precious Curry, Robert Russell. And brought to you by the Delphinus Agency Limited.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This is Talking Heads on a Thursday. Pearly in the house. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Yes, sir, Pearly.
Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, I know you. I know that you just like them turbot. You throw that little bait in the water and you can just bite.
Tell that old son in the knob next year.
Yeah, well, he seems just upset that they break up the team because he thought they could have still been in the fight for a playoff spot. But you know, some decisions you got to make as ownership for the future.
But, Yankees can be the wild card. We can.
You give up on winning the division. You give up on winning the division.
I totally give up on it. I said the worst we could do is beat the best in the world wild card.
Yeah.
I still think there's a chance. Take some games, still have a chance.
Okay, all right. Time will tell.
Everything is possible. If we could go, we come on a 7-game win streak, now we right there.
Okay.
Good shit.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, 7-game win streak. But you can see the Rockies are trying things around the last several games.
Yeah, you've done.
Power, we hit the power as we always do. We get timely home run.
Well, you know, people don't think, you know, while baseball is a team sport, there's certain players that you have to help bring the chemistry or the glue to put the team together. And Judd is that player. When Judd is out, your team just not the same. You know, and you might think Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez and Bill Smith are the Dodgers, but Max Muncy is a major factor to the Dodgers offense. So and he may bat 200, but he does something for the team, and that's the same thing the Judge does for the Yankees.
Yeah, there's always one player that is make a significant difference.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the bad grade. He just got to be on that team and be on that field, and that gives that team a sense of, you know, we can do something.
All right, my brother, we can link up.
I can be watching, and I'm sure we will have a conversation again. I mean, whenever you hear me say Yankees, you're feel free to call and come back with me, my brother.
Thank you.
Take care. So, you know, one of the things that in back to football that got me, and I don't understand what they're doing, but I guess when you have a coach that is fighting for their job, you know, they make certain things. And when the coach put Anthony Richardson and basically have said, you ain't got no place in Indianapolis anymore. And I wanted to ask the caller that before he hung up. There are some teams that he could end up to. And I just wanted to throw it out there. And after I saw the teams, I wasn't going to say anything. But after I saw a certain team, I said, let me push that out there. Now, Anthony Richardson was the number 3 pick last year. Yeah, I think last year. Went through some injuries, a lot of injuries. Showed some potential, but never got to the level that he should have been at. All right, and maybe they should have put him behind a veteran for a year to learn and get there. But you have players like Baker Mayfield and them who've done that, who were flops in the first year, and by the third year started to play some good football. So there's some teams. Let's throw them out there. New Orleans is one. The Rams is another team. The Vegas Raiders is another team. These are quarterback-hungry teams, they're saying. And I'm not really saying this is what the article is saying, quarterback-hungry teams. The Pittsburgh Steelers, and I keep telling my friends who Pittsburgh Steelers fans that Rodgers is not the answer, and maybe they have to, and I would have tried and make a move now to bring Richardson there to be under Rodgers to learn, so when Rodgers leave next year, he could fall in and he probably could do well there. And another team that surprised me, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. I say it one more time. The Dallas Cowboys is a team that they could that maybe should consider looking at Anthony Richardson. I just think I love his arm. I think his accuracy. I just think the injuries hurt him, and I don't think he was ever really where he should have been at, and didn't get that chemistry there. And I understand it. I understand now. See, sometimes you got to look at you got to look at what's best for you. When I say what's best for you, I'm talking about the coach. You know. So when you look at general manager Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, they're looking to save their job. So they got to start winning some games, because if they don't do some things this year, they're out. They're out. So I feel for Anthony Richardson. I think he has a great. He has some upside. I think he has a future. I just think he needs to find the right team to go to. And maybe the Rams. I mean, Stafford should be gone soon. Maybe the Raiders. You know, and maybe if Dak don't work out the Dallas, he could come and work under Dak for a couple of years and learn. But it hurt. I really don't care because I'm a Dolphin fan. But as a fan of the game, that move didn't sit well with me, you know. I see the 49ers made a trade today, 49er, for Sky Moore, you know, the wide receiver from the Chiefs. It's interesting, they exchanged 27 pick swaps. I guess there was no space for Sky, so they find a place for him to go. And the number one receiver in the 49ers out till the 4th or 6th game, this might be a good pickup for them. I see the Saints trade for Broncos wide receiver Denver sent Devon Vale to New Orleans for a 4th-round pick. That's not a bad move. Okay. That's interesting. DeMarcus Robinson was suspended. The wide receiver, you're going to miss the first 3 games. That's why the 49ers made that move. Okay. I see what's going on. The Jets and the Browns, defensive tackle Jawan Briggs has headed to New York. With picks going both ways. That's a good move for the Jets. The Jets need that. Lots of moves are going to be happening over the next few days before the season start. Teams are going to wait to see who's cut and maybe grab a player. And not because a certain player is cut off a team that means they can't play in the NFL. You know, they just didn't fit into that system. I've seen some players who were cut and picked up by other teams and did really well. And maybe not as starters, maybe as 2nd or 3rd string players, backups. The defensive end that the Dolphins pick up, he's not going to be the starter. And he was a beast in practice yesterday. And I think him coming off the bench and in the rotation will give the Dolphins some help, knowing that the Dolphins got a weak secondary, and they're going to need a front 7 that's going to put some pressure on the quarterback and stop the run. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on there. But the trades, we got a lot of WNBA games going on tonight. When I say a lot, they got about 4 or 5, I think. So we take a look at them. There's 4. And this is some interesting stuff. The Washington Mystics are at the Connecticut Sun. Washington is a 4.5-point favorite. 2 losing teams, 4th place, 6th place teams. I'm just going to ride with the money line. And then let me just back up before we get into the picks. Let me back up. Naughty and I were on point with the Sparks and the Wings games yesterday. That's so you can know that we do make some great picks. We remember the money line. They were 7.5, and it grew to 8.5 before the game started. The Sparks won 80-81. Paige Beckers, the rookie from Dallas, went off. She had a game. That young lady put up 44 points last night, and it was a good game. It was really back and forth at the end. It was a technical against, I think, Jackson. Yeah, was it Jackson from the Sparks? Beckers went up there and hit a bucket to put them up 80-79. And then it was down to the last shot. And we had Katie Plum, left-hander. Was it Plum? No, Christy Brink. No, Plum. It was Plum who put up the game winner to win the game last night, 81-80 for the Sparks. So they fell a bit in the money line. So we didn't have to worry about the picks. So take my word for it when I tell you don't go with the points, go with the money line. And tonight I will tell you take the Washington Mystics and the points, 2.5-point favorites. My girlfriend Angel Reese in Chicago Sky is at the New York Liberty. New York is a 14.5-point favorite. I'm almost willing to tell you take the points in this one, because my team just ain't doing it. But I'll take the Liberty tonight in the money line. The Minnesota Lynx, 2.5-point over the Atlanta Dream. I will take the Lynx and the points today. And then we have the Phoenix Mercury at 1.5-point favorites over the 1.5 points underdogs to the Aces. 2 pretty good teams, pretty even. And the Phoenix is 21-13. Aces are 22-14. I will take the Aces and the points today. So there's your picks. Just before we go, we'll take this last caller. Call you on the air.
Hey, Poily.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
Yeah. Which football team do you think has the most fans in the Bahamas?
Probably the Dolphins.
Not because I was a fan of the same team from 1992 to the present. I guess you make a guess who that is. But
92? So you're a Patriot fan, eh?
1972.
Oh, 72. Then you're a Dolphin fan.
17 and oh, you remember?
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I went to the Buffalo Miami game in that season and watched Earl Morrall beat O.J. Simpson and the Buffalo Bills that day.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so I've been a Dolphin fan for.
So you think it's the Dolphin?
I think it's evening out. Back in the day, it was a lot. I think it's starting to even out now. There's still a whole hell of a lot of Dolphin fans in the country, but where we have cable TV and IPTV and we get more exposure, a lot more, and the younger folks are now drifting away from the Dolphins and becoming fans like the Chiefs and like my son who's a Atlanta Falcon fan. So that is shifting a lot. So it's not as many Dolphin fans in the Bahamas like it used to be. But there's still a cool crew. And a lot of Bahamians have season tickets to Dolphin games, and they go every year. I got some good friends that do that every single year. But that's it. Thank you so much for the calls. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for just listening. And just before they go, my Dodgers are leading the Colorado Rockies 8-3, top of the 8th inning. There's 2 out with runners on first and third. I'm going to try and run up to catch the 9th inning. Take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow with Naughty, and I'll be back next Thursday, God willing. It's been great. Great talking to you. Be safe out there on those roads.
Me out a road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor, so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like me style, tell a boy fit your car. So them a watch everything and me a wear. Them no see the hard work and me do for me career. But them a wonder how me things them so weird. Them want kill me for the carry me a steer. But me heart no dirty. Me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty. Me think clean. I will never go just for your queen.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Going through tires faster than a hot knife through butter. One wheel going left, one wheel going right. While the car crying and trying to go down the road straight, Chief, you need to go into Muffler World and get your wheels aligned. Muffler World will set you on the straight and narrow in no time. With computerized wheel alignment. And since the car is up already on the rack, take them one-tread tires off and get some new ones. Muffler World on Mackey Street. Got that computerized wheel alignment and brand new tires.
Looking for your dream job in paradise? At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, we're hiring. And with over 200 positions available, we're confident you'll find your perfect fit. Whether you're passionate about keeping guests safe as a lifeguard, or if mixing up refreshing cocktails as a bartender is more your speed, there's a spot waiting just for you. Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career to explore openings and apply today.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich craving is real, and it's making everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra-large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it? Every day them see me out the road and me a flat. Buy me one a liquor so me have me one a glass. Girl them sexy and me clothes them so sharp. So who no like
The current state of affairs between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was on Fox this morning. He had some comments yesterday. We heard from the coach, Brian Schottenheimer, is like, I fully expect him to be there. Business will take care of it, all that sort of stuff. Is this different? Are we in a different world now than the usual? This stuff usually works itself out. What's your opinion on it, Tom?
We're in a different world right now because there is still, as of about 20 minutes ago when I was checking on this, no communication. There is no communication between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons' agent, David Mulugheta, in terms of doing a long-term contract. We can all point to, yes, CeeDee Lamb took forever. Dak didn't get done until a few hours before kickoff last year in Cleveland. But those deals were weeks and months in the making. With Micah Parsons, there, of course, were the conversations that now are well documented between Micah and Jerry Jones, who thought he had a handshake, cocktail napkin type of deal done back in March, whether it was because Jerry felt like this was Micah going back on his word, whether this is because Jerry simply is negotiating on his own timeline. Whatever it is, no one has called Micah's agent to try to get a deal done. There's not been a single offer in writing. There has not been a single conversation that would qualify as a contract negotiation. Is there still time? Yes, but 2 weeks from tonight, Rich, the Cowboys play the Eagles in the kickoff game on national TV. Micah has not practiced. He's been, from what I've been told, he's been great in the meeting rooms, the walkthroughs. He's doing all that stuff, but you still got to get your body in shape to play football. There's a conditioning element that goes into this, among other things. At some point in the coming days here, Micah's either going to need to practice or he's not going to be ready to be a participant, certainly not a full participant, in the Week 1 game. I know Brian Schottenheimer said yesterday he's confident that Micah is going to be out there in Week 1. I don't believe that there's been any promises made, though there's been an open and honest dialogue between Schottenheimer and Micah throughout the course of this process. The Cowboys, if you just base it on what Jerry Jones said several days ago, they seem to be looking at this as, hey, Micah's either going to come back and try to save the deal in March, or, hey, he'll just play it out on the fifth-year option here, and we'll worry about franchise tags and all that when we get to March.
That's, again, this is your bailiwick, and I'm sorry to be strolling into it in any way, shape, or form in a lane, but all I keep hearing is this is different. That's all I keep hearing. It's different. It's different because Jerry thinks this was a handshake agreement, and Micah's different in the fact that he is more than willing to take this to where players usually don't. That's what I keep hearing, Tom.
For years, if not decades, Jerry Jones, along with Bill Belichick, were the two people, the Cowboys and the Patriots, the two teams that would negotiate around agents' backs, that would bring a player in and sit them down and basically try to work out a deal and then basically inform the agent, hey, I just talked directly to the player. There's various rules about how that entire thing is supposed to operate here, but Jerry's always been kind of on his own program. And those of us who have delved into the Netflix premiere, me, TJ, and Brockman were at the premiere last week in Hollywood while I was out there. It's an excellent and interesting documentary, but it also shows how Jerry, his entire history has been, he does things a little bit differently. Certainly the contract negotiation, the fact that he's the GM and the owner is one of those things. But in this case, you have an agent in David Mulugheta who negotiated over $1 billion of deals in the past year. He's not a difficult guy to get a hold of. And again, whether it is Jerry feeling like he got, somebody pulled the rug out from under him, whether he's embarrassed, whether he's angry, whatever it is, he's never called. Nobody has called on his behalf and tried to hammer out a deal here. So that part of it is different, which then brings us to this. All right, what are the options and what are the different ways that this could go with Micah Parsons over the next, let's say, 14 days, which is the run up to the opener against the Eagles?
Yes, sir.
One possibility would be sometime in probably, let's call it the next 5 to 7 days. He returns to practice. He says, screw it. I'm going to play deal or no deal. I'm under contract. I'm going to go out there and play with the guys, and we'll worry about this after the season. That's one possibility. Second possibility is Micah, who, remember, has said this entire time that he has back soreness, and that's why he's not participating, because hold-ins are not a magic bullet to not get fined. However, if you're injured, that's a different type of a case. Micah could say, hey, my back isn't healthy enough, or hey, I'm simply not going out there. The Cowboys then at that point would have to decide what levers are they going to pull. They could suspend him for conduct detrimental to the team. They've already had the ability throughout this process, if they wanted to say, hey, you're not really injured, we're going to fine you. But they could start coming after his money. If he doesn't play in those games and he's not getting paid for those games, suspension or otherwise, certainly that's going to be significant money, but also for a guy who's going to sign a contract that's worth somewhere in the range of $45 million per year, you probably are okay taking the short-term financial loss. So that's the second possibility. The third possibility is that the Cowboys seriously entertain trade offers for Micah Parsons. And this is something that we have talked about going all the way back to Super Bowl Sunday, that there were internal conversations among the Cowboys, not necessarily about, hey, should we trade Micah, what can we get, but more so, is it wise to wrap up this much money in 3 players? We're already paying Dak $60 a year, we're paying CeeDee Lamb around $35. If they were to entertain offers, the price, in my mind, and based on my feel for the market, would be somewhere in the range of what the Bears sent for Khalil Mack to the Raiders a number of years ago. That was, the headline was 2 first-round picks. Really, though, there was a second-round pick going back. There were other picks involved. It's like a little less than 2 first-round picks. If you're the Cowboys and that's the price, that would be a significant value, especially because then you're freeing up $40+ million per year in cash and cap space to rebuild at other spots. But does Jerry Jones want to rebuild when he's 82, 83 years old? It still seems unlikely. I know they've gotten calls. I don't know that the teams that have called entirely know if they're actually considering this or just having conversations. Right now, everything that's been said publicly by the Cowboys indicates that they are fully planning for Micah Parsons one way or another to be on the team in week 1. If at any point they come off of that, there would be teams that would be highly interested in making a trade for Micah Parsons. We're just not there yet.
Rank them for me. You just gave those options. Rank them. Rank them. Because you left out one option. They sign him. You know what I mean? Because that let's throw that one in there. So you said, honestly, so let's rank them. They sign him in the next 2 weeks before, because again, you pointed out that we're 2 weeks away from midnight actually striking. They sign him. He decides, screw it. I'm going to return to play and we'll kick the can down the road. The Cowboys trade him, or the Cowboys start to fine him, or they basically, and where does a holdout into the season rank? Those are your 5 options. How this all plays out. There you go, Tom. I know. That's a top 5. Tom Pelisseri's top 5 of how this plays out. Rank them.
There's been no productive conversation whatsoever.
I know. This is out of your lane. I strolled into your lane. You stroll into mine. You sit in this chair. You know how it works.
You and I right here on this show could figure out what the Micah Parsons extension has to be.
Exactly.
They like to do long deals.
The number's there. Yeah.
No agent's going to want your client to go and sign a 6-year deal. So let's say, all right, let's cocktail napkin this like Jerry would like to.
Let's do it.
4 years, $180 million, somewhere in the range of $130 to $150 million guaranteed. Boom, done. He's a Cowboy through 2029. This entire supply goes away. Right. It's not a hard deal to do, but they have not done anything since March to actually try to move that thing forward. And to my understanding, Micah's agent, David Mulugheta, has called them and basically said, hey, I'm ready when you are. But no agent is just going to sit there and negotiate against yourself. So it's an unusual type of situation. So let's set that one aside, because one guy's going to make that decision, and it's Jerry Jones. Are you actually going to try? To this point, they have not. I would say, just if I'm sitting here and looking at the logical options here, number one would be showing up and playing for what he's due, which I think is around $25 million this season. And that's because if you show up and you play this thing out, you're that much closer to having leverage in a potential contract situation next year. If you get franchise tagged, which you would think is a given, you don't have to sign that all the way through. You can't be fined in training camp. You can't be punished other than obviously losing, not being paid, even if you miss regular season games. So then Micah would have significantly more leverage from that perspective. Mm-hmm. However, his agent's history, he's presided over plenty of tricky situations like this, including multiple Jalen Ramsey trades, the Deshaun Watson situation where Deshaun, there were obviously significant circumstances involved in that, but people forget Deshaun Watson didn't play in 2021. He was never suspended. He was never on the exempt list. He just didn't play. He requested a trade. There were 20-plus allegations of sexual misconduct against him. He just did his work inside and stayed in shape, but did not play that entire year. How did that play out? Well, the following March, they had 4 different teams bidding on Deshaun Watson. It's a quarterback, but Micah Parsons doesn't have all those other extenuating circumstances surrounding him here. So there are different ways, but the Cowboys are not just going to sit back and go, okay, we'll let you sit out the season. Again, it would depend if we go down that road, what levers end up being pulled. I find it hard to believe that Micah Parsons is simply not going to play, because remember too, Rich, if there were a situation where whether it's he retires, whether it's he gets spent, if he does not play, we do come to a point where his contract would toll. He's then still under contract in 2026 for the same number. I don't foresee that being a